Let's go.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Troy King, aka T King Mode. And on my right-hand side, I got my brother. I got my partner in crime.
Yes,
The
sir.
one, the only, Laquon Jones. What's up, man? What's up, LQ? How you doing, bro?
That was the best intro you ever gave me, my guy. Let's go.
It's probably the only today. That's the only good one I'm ever gonna give you, man. This guy's a debut show. I just want to say what's up to the people, though. What's up, y'all? This is Troy King and Laquon Jones, and you are tuned in to TL Fantasy Football. This is the debut episode, number 1.
Yes, sir.
And we appreciate y'all tuning in and locking in with us. Look, man, we are so hyped and we're so excited to be part of the Destination Devy crew. You guys got us here every single Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You got us. We are here for you. We're here to help you, one, recap the Monday Night Football game. We're going to help you with waiver wires and so much more. So we're going to get into it. But, guys, make sure that you like this video. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube page. And if you got a specific question you want us to ask, there's the super chat. We are here to help you win your fantasy leagues, get a advantage on all your teammates. We got you. As well as we're also going to be here on Thursdays. So Thursdays, we got what's called a Thirsty Thursday halftime show. It's going to be 10 minutes with me, Laquon Jones, and our homie Sam Holt. So you're going to get us every single Tuesday and Thursday. But let's get right into it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right, we got to talk about Monday Night Football. So, there was a lot that went right and a lot that went wrong, but we're going to start off with the Bills versus Titans. So the Bills, they put the smack down on the Titans, man.
They had them waving the white flag in the third quarter, my guy. That was whoo.
Bro, we're about to get into it, right? So the Bills, they stomped them 41-7, but I'm going to sit back. I'm going to let LQ, we're going to talk about the Bills first, right? So do me a favor. Can you explain to me what the heck happened in terms of just how were they able to do this, like to the Titans? Because normally the Titans play the Bills tough.
Yeah, they play tough.
It looked like the Bills had no competition. So tell me what your thoughts on Josh Allen. Tell me your thoughts on Stephon Diggs. The floor is yours, my guy.
We ain't even got to go too crazy about it. Like, we ain't got to go really in depth about like stats and what happened. Like, Josh Allen is that dude, Joshua Allen. He's invited to the cookout. That dude is out there balling out, and he is obviously putting a statement on QB1, and we're going to the Super Bowl. Like, done deal. Like, they put a stomping on my Rams, which was very depressing, but hey, we out here. We still out here getting dubs. We running it back. We might be seeing Bills versus Rams in the Super Bowl, but we hold off on that.
Well, let's see about your Rams, bro. They've been okay. You got I'm not gonna roast your Rams, man. Continue.
Listen,
I'll get to your Rams later.
But for the most part, you got Stephon Diggs being Stephon Diggs, man. He went out there and balled out with Gabe Davis is out. And Gabe Davis, people were a little worried about, the offense, how they're going to get the spark going, how they're going to score touchdowns against the Titans. They play them tough. Man, Stephon Diggs is Stephon Diggs with or without Gabe Davis. I don't think we need to go too in depth of why Stephon Diggs is the guy. But what came out to be a very disappointment for a lot of fantasy managers was Isaiah McKenzie. Very depressing stats. 2 catches.
My guy, in deeper leagues, I started him, bro. This man had 2 receptions for 37 yards. That ain't gonna do nothing for you in fantasy, bro. I'm just like, and then let's talk about, like you mentioned, Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs had 12 receptions on 14 targets for 148 yards and 3 touchdowns. If you were losing and you had Stephon Diggs, I'm assuming that you won your league. I hope you won your league, because if you didn't win your league with Stephon Diggs on your team, then the rest of your team might be sorry.
Yeah, you got other issues going on.
And you got Josh Allen, he's throwing for 317 yards, 4 touchdowns. He's just doing Josh Allen things. He only ran the ball one time. That was all his arm,
he was airing it out, man. Listen, Titans, they got the ass whoa. When they were waving that white flag in the third quarter, that's a clear sign of what's going on. And like the bigger story that nobody's really like hitting on right now is like,
let's get into the Titans, right? Because they were absolute doo-doo. They were garbage. So let's break down the Titans, man. So tell me about Ryan Tannehill, because there's a lot to be worried about. Obviously, we saw a little bit of Malik Willis. So tell me about What happened with Ryan Tannehill? What happened to the pass catchers? Like tell the people what was going on with that, man.
Exposed. Ryan Tannehill feel that pressure, man. Malik Willis is on his ass, and that's what it is. He needs to perform at a high level in his prime time doubleheader football Monday night. He needs to perform at a high level to secure his job because he's scared of getting Ryan Tannehill what he did to Marcus Mariota. He got Marcus Mariota benched in 2019. We're seeing it play out for Ryan Tannehill. Like, even the fact that they waved the white flag in the third quarter, like I said before, Malik Willis coming in the game, they want to see what their investment looked like. They want to see what he can do. Maybe, Ryan Tannehill was struggling against the Bills defense, or Ryan Tannehill is trash. They want to answer that question in that moment in the third quarter, put Malik Willis in. But Malik Willis, he didn't do much. He didn't look great either. So it was just chalk it up as a dub. The Bills defense is really like that.
Look, they are like that. And when Malik Willis went in, the only thing you really saw is that, look, he's athletic. We knew he was athletic. He ran the ball a bunch of times. It's just, It wasn't pretty. But yeah, Ryan Tannehill was not good. He threw 117 yards, 2 interceptions. Just, they could not get the offense going. I don't know what was going on. They didn't do game plan. Derrick Henry, the almighty Derrick Henry, that we believe that so he's matchup proof. And this is the issue with Derrick Henry, because we know that he's unlike any other running back in the league. The problem is, and he scored a touchdown. The crazy thing is, scored a touchdown. That's the only thing that saved
anybody.
But we know that he doesn't catch passes, unfortunately. Yeah. But did you see his rushing line? He was 13 for 25.
That's
13 for 25 from Derrick Henry. And like, they were down early, and they tried to run the ball a little bit. Buffalo Bills knew what you were doing. They knew you were going to give it.
We're looking at a Super Bowl team right now. Like, I really don't want to put this, like, I don't want to put like this bar or meter on Derrick Henry right now, because he did look slow, but the game was basically out of range. Like, we can't get the running game going, can't establish the run, and you also don't want to overwork Derrick Henry as well, because he's returning back from injury as well. You don't want to put him in a game that really is already lost. So I'm not really chalking this up as Derrick Henry, he's a bust or whatever the case may be. But we might be looking at Derrick Henry, the old vintage Derrick Henry, where he shows up mid-season when it gets cold outside, when snow starts hitting the ground. You not want to tackle that man? Like, are you crazy?
And look, Derrick Henry, he's going to be fine. He's going to be Derrick Henry, but the Titans need to find a way to also get their pass catchers on a more consistent basis. Finally, we saw a little bit of Treylon Burks, though.
Yeah.
4 for 47. 4 for 20, 47. That's encouraging. We need to see more. Look, he had the highest target share on the team. And you just look at some of the other guys. Though Robert Woods, though, he got some of his late with Malik Willis. He was 4 for 39. That's not great. And then Kyle Phillips, people were starting Kyle Phillips. People were worried, oh my God, he's injured. Oh, he was ruled in. Oh, we could play Kyle Phillips. He was 1 for 5. If you have Kyle Phillips, you could drop him if you're in your redraft league. Like, he's look, and everyone's excited. He's a rookie. He had a lot of targets week 1, but he did absolutely nothing for you this week. So
but from a fantasy aspect, though, Ray makes a good point. Like, I mean, are we buying low? Is Derrick Henry a buy low right now? I mean,
in redraft, yeah. So in redraft, absolutely. If you want to throw out offers for Derrick Henry in redraft, do your thing. In Dynasty, he's already somebody I'm not touching, right? He's a 30-year-old running back who doesn't catch passes, who's coming off of a foot injury. Guys, Dynasty, please do not buy him. In redraft, yeah, of course, because you know that Derrick Henry's going to have his sucky games, but you know that he's going to go off too.
He is.
So look, Ray makes a great point. He said, "No, Kyle Phillips." Look, listen, bro. Like, Fizzle Dollars. Yo, let me talk to you real quick. Did you watch the game? And maybe it's because he's injured, but my fantasy teams, they're gonna slander Kyle Phillips because he didn't help me. Okay?
Listen, Kyle Phillips, he looked good week 1, but that humble pie was
okay. Listen, and look, he can redeem himself. I'm not saying he sucks, he can redeem himself. But as of right now, I'm a slander. But yeah, Tennessee looks rough. I don't know what they're gonna do. There's gonna be a major change. Is Malik Willis the future? I don't know if he's the future. Yeah, and he's dropping punts. Look, Fizzle. Like I know I'm glad that you on Kyle Phillips' side, but this ain't the show to defend. He ain't do nothing worth defending. Oh, let's talk about Austin Hooper before we move on to the Vikings and Eagles.
Oh yeah,
Austin Hooper is one of people's favorite late round tight end targets. This man, you could drop him, bro. This man had 1 for 19. Like, please don't waste your time on Austin Hooper. Like, I thought he was gonna be more involved in the offense.
I did too.
Trash. Like,
I'm
not saying he's trash, but his fans production has been trash.
I swear he should have just stayed in Atlanta. Like, he had 80 plus targets guaranteed for him, sitting right there for him on a great off, and then he leaves, and then
bro, he's chasing the bag. Look, I don't blame him, bro. I'm not going to worry about playing.
There's guys that bag chase in the past and just ruin their careers. Like Kenny Britt, he's a perfect example I like to use. He was a Ram. He bag chased, went to Cleveland, then went to the Patriots. Trash. Like, he's out of the league right now.
Bro, shoulda, woulda. Bro, shoulda, woulda, coulda. But look, before we move on to the Vikings Eagles game, make sure y'all liking. If y'all have a question you want us to know, let us know. Hit the super chat. We got you. Make sure you're subscribing to the page. Again, we appreciate everybody in the comments. We love y'all. We're gonna keep it rocking. So for the Vikings and Eagles game, I have a lot to say about this because I got a lot of shares of Jalen Hurts, but the Eagles, they did their thing, man. 24-7 Eagles victory. And there's so much we could talk about this game, but let's start off on the Vikings. We're going to do it opposite. We're going to start with the Vikings because, dang, Kirk on Monday Night Football is atrocious. I think I saw some stat that he's 2 for 10. This man is like 2 for 10 on Monday Night Football. I'm not saying that you got to sit Kirk Cousins on Monday Night Football, but
that boy is mediocre. He's mid.
No, listen, week 1, this team was looking like the Rams, right? They were looking like the Rams. Justin Jefferson was getting open whenever he wanted to. They beat Green Bay. We're like, yo, this team is going to look unstoppable. And then the Eagles come, and Jalen Hurts he's showed us what Jalen Hurts could be as a quarterback. Like, I've been a Jalen Hurts fan since, his Alabama days, went to Oklahoma. Like, I've been on the Jalen Hurts bandwagon, but I love seeing what he did. But before I get too into it, look, LQ, tell me what you thought about the Vikings' performance.
Listen, man, you got to know what you're getting into with Kirk Cousins, man, especially for fantasy. Like, if it's prime time football, you better prime time his ass on your bench because it's not going to happen. Like, sometimes history repeats itself, and he's just not good under the lights with all the eyes on him. Prime time is just not his thing. Like, you have to sit him. Like, it's to the point now moving forward, if you sit him on the bench, he goes off, hey, you played it safe. Because there's too many times you put him in your starting lineup, shits the bed. And in the worst way. It's not like he just goes out there, he puts up a mid-tier game, he gives you 15 points, 12. We're talking single-digit points this guy's giving you in fantasy. Like, this offense just was not doing it. Like, the Eagles defense, like, I had them maybe top 10, top 7. I like the additions they had. But they were playing lights out. Like, Slay was ball hawking even when the game was to bed. This guy was hungry because Kirk was just making stupid decisions. Like, the thing is, the one that he had thrown to Adam Thielen, the one target he finally got in the fourth quarter.
He got a few targets at the end, they
were all terrible.
They were terrible. Adam Thielen was 4 receptions for 52 yards, but his targets came very late. But yeah, go ahead.
It's just disgusting, man, about the decision making was just off, and like Kirk is way better than that. I mean, he knows that. He knows that. Like, Kirk is one of those guys that can go out there and ball out, but just not in prime time. Mid-tier, mid-soft, whatever you want to call it.
What kind of show is this, bro? Pause.
I said soft.
Pause. No, I thought you said soft. Pause.
Nah, clip that.
Anyways, okay, but Kirk, he's 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. And this man was trying to, I don't blame him. He was trying to force feed Justin Jefferson, but his target was just off. Again, Darius Slay was like, thank you. Darius Slay was the best receiver pretty much on the Vikings.
Side of the ball.
And that's what's sad. And what we need to talk about too, man, let's talk about Dalvin Cook, bro. Dalvin Cook has not been impressive the past 2 weeks. Let me read off his. He was 6 carries for 17 yards and 4 receptions for 19 yards. Should we be worried about Dalvin Cook? Should we be worried?
I think we should be worried about him, not on the talent side, but just on the offensive system, the scheme, because we knew this going into the season that they were moving away from the run-heavy offense. They were moving away from Dalvin Cook being the focus to open the playbook up, Justin Jefferson getting open, getting loose like he's Cooper Kupp. Like, these are all things we knew. So kind of like in my rankings, I had Dalvin Cook slightly sliding just based on that. on that fact that Kevin O'Connell is coming from a branch of Sean McVay. So Sean McVay, he loves to open the playbook up when he has a quarterback that actually has the IQ. No dig on Jared Goff, but but like what I'm saying is like I feel as though we need to be patient with Dalvin Cook. I'm not worried just yet. I have shares of Dalvin Cook. I'm not too worried. I'm just waiting to see how this offense blossoms. How's it going to get better? How are they going to get gelling together? How's it going to click? Because he can very well be involved in this passing game. Like all I need, honestly, is 5 to 6 targets from him, and that's it. Because him in open space, he's dangerous. It's just that we just not seeing the offense click together right now.
And look, Dalvin Cook's going to have his good games. I feel that, look, in the past, even this past regime, we've seen times where like Dalvin Cook just has these, mid games, right? Or doesn't score a touchdown or whatever. Oh, I like this question. The milk crate, I appreciate this question. I think I'm more worried about Dalvin because to me, and the reason why I'm worried about Dalvin is because just like LQ was saying, the Vikings their offense is going to be focused, everywhere else. Or you got Justin Jefferson. He's the focal point of the offense now. Derrick Henry is always going to be the focal point of the Titans. And he's going to get his touchdowns, right? Again, when they're close to the goal line, they're going to get the ball to Derrick Henry. When the Vikings are close to the goal line, there's no guarantees that Dalvin Cook is going to get those, red zone, the goal line opportunities. So, but for me, I know people are more worried about Henry. No, I disagree. Yeah. I disagree because you know what? Volume alone, Henry to me is going to get he's going to get his opportunity. So for me,
that's the only time I'm agree with you this show, by the way. But
yes, but look, Dalvin Cook gets the targets, but no, Derrick Henry, guys. Would we be surprised if Derrick Henry scores 3 touchdowns next week? Like, let's chill. No. He's gonna have his bad games, but Derrick Henry is still gonna be Derrick Henry. For redraft this year, I'm not too worried about him. All right, so we've been talking a lot about the Vikings. Let's talk about the actual good team in this game, the Eagles. My dog Jalen Hurts went crazy, bro.
He hit this on him after that touchdown, like big
bro, 333 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 2 rushing touchdowns, 11 rushes, 57 yards, and he had some grown man runs, bro, just running through people. So, and then everyone is even Miles Sanders. So, well, let me talk about the pass catchers. AJ Brown, 5 for 69, nice. Devontae Smith, 7 receptions for 80 yards. Dallas Goedert, 5 receptions for 82 yards. The whole offense was balling out. Miles Sanders, 17 for 80. Like everyone just showed up. The Eagles all showed up for. Jalen Hurts is him, guy. Jalen Hurts, he's my most. He's the quarterback I have most shares of across all my leagues. I made sure I target him. And look, the Eagles now, they have their franchise quarterback. People were worried, is he the guy? Nah. Jalen Hurts is the guy. The Eagles got their dude. Like, I'm so happy for him. But LQ, tell me what you thought about this. Jalen Hurts, tell me what you thought about all the pass catches. The floor is yours, man.
Listen, Jalen Hurts, man, he will have a game like this. I tweeted this out yesterday. Like, he will have a game like this, and people will still find a way to talk shit about him, like to down his game. Like, if you've seen the timeline that I saw, the algorithm that I had, it's like, come on now. Like, how are you going to sit here and say, this throw, he's still inaccurate? Like, shut up. Leave the man alone. He's out there balling in primetime football, kicking Kirk Cousins and Vikings ass right now. And, like, listen, Jalen Hurts has that top 5 locked in on him. Like, I'm not putting him anything outside of it. He's in the top 5.
He's to me, he's top 3, bro. Top 3. If he finishes as the QB1, am I going to be surprised? Nah. How much you paying? You paying him? You got to pay him what?
They Wentz. Shit.
But here's the thing, right? The problem is the QB market keeps resetting. That's the issue, right? So I got it good. You're not paying them Lamar money. You're not paying them this, Deshaun Watson.
You're not paying them years. You might be.
But next year I think like they start the contracts. Next year I think they're gonna start talking about it because he wasn't a first round pick, so they don't have that 5th-year option. No. So with Jalen Hurts, so I think he has the ability to be a free agent. So you gotta pay this man, but how much do you pay him? And again, it's just very confusing the way the QB market is. Like, I don't know how much you're paying him, but you're paying him. Like, you have no choice. You're not gonna let this man walk because he's gonna be a starter on most teams in the NFL because he's just that dude. He has the NFL now. You got to be able to be athletic. You got to be able to run. you to be able to throw. And Jalen Hurts, and they got him for cheap. Like they're gonna pay him, but you don't have to pay him as much as the other dudes. But
I'm paying him whatever he wants. If I'm Philly, if you leave it to the Philly fans, they paying him whatever he wants. If he gets
there's still Philly fans that don't like him. There's still Philly fans that think he's trash or can't throw, whatever. Trust me, I see it.
Football, that's why, man. They think
he's inaccurate.
Look, if you from Philly, my fault. I'm from Jersey. We got this silent beef going on. I ain't even gonna go in on y'all right now, but we can move on to Miles Sanders. Let's talk Miles Sanders. There's a Miles Sanders.
Before we get to Miles Sanders, let's talk about AJ Brown, Devonta Smith. So maybe Devonta Smith, AJ Brown is him. We can't really talk much about AJ Brown.
He's doing his thing. A bounce back, yeah.
Yeah, but AJ Brown, he left a little bit during this game because he was in the blue medical tent, but he came back. But let's talk about Devonta Smith. He gave you absolute zero. He was disappeared week 1, but thank goodness Jalen Hurts remembered that, Devonta Smith is actually pretty freaking good. And he had 80 yards, 7 receptions for 80 yards, and this is what this offense could be. They're so balanced. You're able to run and they're throwing. Like this offense is. It's weird to say that the Eagles are one of the best teams in the league. They look like it. They look like one of the best teams in the league, and it's gross. And they're gonna win the division. They're gonna win the division, bro. They're doing it with division, right? They have a cakewalk in their division to the playoff. The Giants. The Giants actually don't look half bad. Eagles winning it. I'm curious how far they got to win a playoff game. I just want to see how far can Jalen Hurts take them. I'm really excited for that team. But Devonta Smith, I'm happy he bounced back. Dallas Goedert. He did what you want from your tight end, but we can talk about Miles Sanders because nobody wanted Miles Sanders in drafts. He's the guy that no one wanted to touch. He's the one that said, "Don't draft me in fantasy." Scored no touchdown last year. He ain't scored, this week, but he scored last week. He looked good. So tell me about Miles Sanders. I know you want to talk about him.
Nah, the only reason I want
Giants don't look bad.
Full bad.
They don't look. Look. They're 2-0. They don't look full, but they got something going on. They're not great. Again, the Eagles got this, bro. The Eagles got this. Saquon Barkley, good. They got juice, man. I like Dayball, but go ahead. Talk about Miles Sanders.
Well, Miles Sanders to me right now, he was a complete fade with his comments, a fade him, blah, blah, blah. But he's running hard, my guy. He's on a contract year. He wants that bag. He wants to stay in Philly. And he's making a great argument of why he's getting the touches that he's getting. I mean, the dude had 20 touches, and it's he used every single touch to the best of his ability. He found space. He's running hard. Yards after contact are looking good for him, after the first 2 weeks. I want him to keep this energy, keep going. Because if you're going to be getting 80 yards on the ground, go ahead and hit that 100 one game, and you're going to be making a statement of why you should be the RB1. Wow, Gainwell shouldn't be getting touches, or Boston Scott shouldn't be getting touches, or whatever the case may be. But what ultimately comes down with Miles Sanders, why he's a fade to me in fantasy, really is the health. He needs to stay healthy. That's the most important point here. And with the offense gelling with, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, even Dallas Goedert, how we forget about Goddard? He out there playing as well. So
people were concerned about Goddard because AJ Brown. That's why people were scared about Devonta Smith. People were worried about Goddard. Why? Because they were worried because AJ Brown, look, he's still going to have the target share. AJ Brown's still the alpha, but it was nice to see a game where all three of them get involved. We can see stat lines similar to this every single game. This offense is going to be beautiful. You should be trading for them. AJ Brown's going to cost you too much, but Devonta Smith, he's somebody where I feel that you can still trade for him at a reasonable price, right? Yeah. It depends. People are going to be a little bit different, but I feel like everyone knows that AJ Brown's the dude. So right now, I feel like Devonta Smith is going to be quietly putting up more games like this because he's quote unquote the second fiddle, but we know how talented he is. There's a reason why they spent that high draft capital on him last year. Now, guys, all right, so we're going to let me educate y'all what is going to be next, right? We're done with the recast. We're about to go and get into two segments. One's fire content only, and the other one is worst thirst. Now, let me tell y'all what each of the segments are about. I'm explaining. So LQ, if y'all don't know, his catchphrase is fire content only. So he's going to talk about some players that are going to exceed expectations this week. So we're looking ahead now. So we're done with week 2, looking ahead to week 3. So we're going to talk about players that are going to exceed expectations and why. That's going to be his segment, fire content only, and we're going to talk about that. Next, worst thirst are going to be players that let you down. So it's going to be me listing some players, and we're going to go back and forth in regards to that. before we get into the segment, guys, make sure that you're liking this video. Make sure if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube page, make sure you subscribe. But again, we appreciate y'all. You've been so active in the comments. We appreciate the support.
Keep it going.
And, yeah, keep them going, man. Keep them going. Let's keep building, guys. I appreciate y'all. All right, so I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna step out.
All right,
I'm gonna step out. I'm gonna let LQ do his thing with the fire content only about players. They're gonna see expectations. I'm not.
Boom. So you see the face, you know the case. It's fire content only, but we're gonna be talking about some fire players only, people. These guys need to be on your radar. Now, listen, my first guy, man, Jacoby Myers. They told you to worry about. They told you to worry about Devontae Parker. For what? He's the new toy, the new guy in town. Troy's a Dolphins fan. We know Devontae Parker hasn't done much. He looked okay, but he's always hurt. But now, after 2 weeks of football, 4 targets, 1 catch. Jacoby Myers is that fire content player going into this next week. He needs to be in lineups. He's a solid flex play. Points per game, he's at 14, but he has a 29% target share. That's really what I want to focus in on. Follow the volume, people. You can mention him with a Tyreek Hill, a Brandon Cooks, even a Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson in a target share system, like 29%. That is crazy. So listen, you have Jacoby Myers coming off of a season last season with 126 targets, people. What are we doing? He's at 19 targets right now with 13 catches. Ravens are the next matchup. They're currently giving up big plays. I know we saw that last game with the Dolphins, them giving up crazy big plays. Jacoby Myers has been stepping up as the guy, stepping up, making big plays for Mac Jones. Mac Jones is looking, pretty good with Jacoby Myers, but Devontae Parker isn't there to help. Now, to move on to my next guy, I got to play a homer base, man. I got to get my guy Allen Robinson there making a bounce back. My guy showed up and showed out. Sean McVay took a hit in week 1, basically saying, hey, it's my fault. I didn't get him involved. I'll take that. I'll take that to the chin. I'll take that L. But bounce back season for Allen Robinson. He needs to be in your lineups and what you paid for him. You paid for him as like a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. He needs to be in your flex position from now on because Sean McVay is no liar. We've seen the same start last season with Robert Woods. He was a little slow. Cooper Kupp taking all the targets, 36% target share, crazy. Now the offense looks much better. It looks smooth. We're going into this week. I say we as a Rams fan against the Cardinals. Listen, Cardinals, they're not looking too good either, man. Even though they got that comeback victory against the Raiders. That's the Raiders, not the Rams. 10-1 the Rams are against the Arizona Cardinals. Now my last guy, same game last week, Drake London. He is leading the rookie wide receivers right now with 160 receiving yards right now, people. He's showing up and showing out. 8 catches, 86 yards, and 1 touchdown last week against the Rams. I'm looking at Drake London as a start and forget. The guy is looking like the alpha in the offense, even though yours truly, 3rd round ADP, Kyle Pitts. I got to talk my shit. But listen, Kyle Pitts, he's looking like a guy that's just a guy. He's not out there being himself. I mean, for 2 weeks in football, he has 4 catches. Arthur Smith not getting him involved, but again, we have to look at both sides. I blame Mariota sometimes because I was actually at that game. There's times where Kyle Pitts was open. He didn't target him, but again, Drake London is that guy. He's looking like the guy for now and forever. I mean, I'm not really sure what happens going into this next week, but those are my 3 guys for fire players only. Troy, bring your ass back up here.
Hold up. Yeah. Fix my stuff, bro. I don't want to be on your handle. All right. So before I have something to say, man, I just want to shout out Fizzle Dollars for the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. I appreciate the support. We really appreciate it, man. We can't keep waiting to rock with y'all, man. You guys have been awesome. And we see Ray in here too. Yo, Ray, appreciate the support.
Ray need a refund.
Yeah, I'm about to say, look, Ray didn't even make a comment, right? He was trying, man, you give me a comment, get out of here, bro. But
there you go, Jersey Drake.
So again, appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all keep liking the video, super chat, whatever. All right, so let me get into your players. Right, Jacoby Myers, I agree with you. Everybody was Devontae Parker. As a Dolphins fan, I was telling people, guys, Devontae Parker ain't it. People kept drafting him. I'm like, oh Lord have mercy. I was praying for him because I tried to warn him. Devontae Parker is in 2019. Devontae Parker, and it's not the same dude. I was trying to pray for him. I was trying to warn people. That was cute. They didn't listen. Jacoby Myers is that guy that you want. Nelson Aguilar had a good game, so I was Look,
Yeah,
so
Cooper.
bro, get Coop out of here, bro. We don't need this nonsense. Tell Coop to take a lap, bro. Get off my show. Get out of here with your nonsense. But nah, like I agree with Myers. Allen Robinson, he worries me a little bit. I like
Here
that,
we
but
go.
he got 2 red zone touchdowns.
Yeah, they took it away though.
They took it
Look at
away,
this.
which sucks. So I did like the red zone work, but I think he only had like 5 targets. That's what I'm a little bit worried about. Like, shout out to our homie JL for the super chat. Love you,
JL the
homie.
GOAT.
Appreciate you, my guy. But yeah. So I would just like to see more consistent volume. If they're going to continue to target him in the red zone, then you know what, Allen Robinson's going to be fine. And yeah, so hopefully we don't see what happened week 1 where Matthew Stafford forgot it
That's not happening
existed.
again, bro.
Look,
That's the bad.
maybe
You're like a
look.
bitter ex, bro. Leave that alone.
No. Listen, maybe Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp, they must have had breakfast or something. They had breakfast together. Maybe
They
Allen
work together,
Robinson,
bro. What you
he
mean?
was watching through the restaurant. He was outside looking and peeking through the restaurant. And he's like, fine, bro, leave me alone. I'm gonna get you some
Bro.
targets.
That's not
Maybe
the
that.
case.
Nah, bro. Hey, appreciate you, Ryan. But yeah. So and then my last guy, so Drake London. Drake London is that freaking dude, bro. Drake London is that dude. But I am pissed at him for taking all the damn targets of Arthur Smith. And no, Arthur Smith, bro, you spent a 4th round pick, fourth overall pick on Kyle Pitts just to not throw to him. Bro, what the hell are you doing, Arthur Smith?
Marcus Mariota is your quarterback.
But he's throwing to Jake London. For some reason, he can't throw to Kyle Pitts. Like, yo, my dynasty teams are suffering.
But do you know what system Marcus Mariota was benched in for Tannehill? In Arthur Smith's offense. It's Mariota. He plays a hard play into this. I really feel as though Kyle Pitts will be fine eventually with a QB change. I'm going to say now. I want a QB change.
I guess so. I do see a question. Let's answer this question real quick. Fields DJ Moore, 23 first, or Lawrence Amon St. Brown, or 23 second? I think oof.
Lawrence Amon.
I think I like the Lawrence side.
I do like the Lawrence.
But the first, I like the first better. But I think I have high expectations for Lawrence. DJ Moore depends on where you're at with DJ Moore. I think Amon St. Brown's that.
I'm not touching Fields, to be honest.
I think I like the Lawrence side. I mean, maybe that'd be controversial, but to me, I like the Lawrence side. But anyways, so now it's my turn. That was my turn by worst thirst. So you know what you can do? You can get your ass out of here. And now it's my time to shine. All right, so give me, yeah, finally. Okay, y'all. Let's do this. All right, guys. So now it's my turn, my segment, worst thirst. So these are guys I'm expecting to let y'all down. So this one hurts, bro. Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds, he was my dude. I was excited about Chase Edmonds. Like, after week 1, he looked like the guy. And then all of a sudden, they flip-flop. So week 1, he had 64% opportunity share. Week 2, 36%. And I don't know if it's going to be a flip-flop thing that Mike McDaniel does between Raheem Mostert and Chase Edmonds. And he had that nice run at the end of the game, Chase Edmonds did. But he makes me nervous. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if he's going to be the guy. I don't know. But I don't trust him as my RB2. I was drafting him in a lot of places as my RB2. I don't really trust him anymore as my RB2. So I would sit him till we figure out what's going on with that backfield. Cole Kmet's my next guy. Hey, look, if anyone been hearing me, I was very high on Cole Kmet. I admit it. I was very high on Cole Kmet. I had no idea that Justin Fields was only going to throw 8 passes week 1 and then 11 passes week 2. Like, bro, if you told me the passing volume is going to be so low, I would have never recommended any Bear. No Bears pass catcher. Like, that's unbelievable. The Bears aren't going to win a freaking – they won week 1 somehow, but they're not going to consistently win if they don't trust Justin Fields to throw the ball. You fade in every single pass catcher in that offense. Kyle Pitts, I just went on a rant about Kyle Pitts. I am worried about him. I'm not saying you have to sit him, but you got to lower your expectations, right? Because Kyle Pitts, to me, man, is just – you spend a high draft pick on him. He had over $1,000 last year. He's supposed to be generational, and they're not throwing to him. I'm a little bit worried, bro. Hopefully they fix that, but I am a little bit worried about Kyle Pitts. And lastly, Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott is getting absolutely no work in the passing game. He had 1 reception week 1, week 2, 10 rushes week 1 for 52 yards, 15 rushes for 53 yards. You know, week 2. So yeah, I'm worried about him. LQ, you could bring yourself back in here, bro. You could bring yourself back in here, man. Because let's talk about him. Let's talk about what we.
You know I'm gonna talk my shit with Chase Edmonds because you know where I stand.
Go ahead. I'll let you talk your shit. You can talk your shit.
He's a side character. He's not the main character. He's a side chick. He's not the main chick. He's a backup dancer. This guy ain't it, bro. I'm telling you, opportunities, it'll come. But I just don't feel as though he's that guy to be like, hey, he has high-end RB2 upside. He's the guy you take in the 5th round. Come on, man. Chase. He doesn't even have a running back name, to be honest. I'm sorry, like Chase Edmonds. Like,
running back name. That's your analysis. Running back names, bro.
Lazy analysis, but the dude is a side chick, bro. Listen, Raheem Mostert literally showed why. I promise you, you give Mostert those opportunities and take Chase Edmonds out of the way. It's like Mostert's going to bust at least 2 10-plus yard runs and take it to the house. I'm telling you, we've seen the speed. It's still there. We saw it in preseason. We've seen it. It's still there. He just needs to be unleashed. A side piece.
But here's the thing. So Chase Edmonds, again, I think there's still a little bit of hope, but Edmonds, I mean, look,
I just don't like the price he was going in there offseason. I was never touching him. Never at that price. He's just playing at ADP of what it should have been. That's all.
I will say Raheem Mostert, be cautious, right? Because we haven't, and I think McDaniels is doing a good job of not overusing Raheem Mostert. I think because you have to be smart. He's dealt with injuries, so I don't think that he's going to get.
Thank you,
Fizzle, bro. You are my homie in the show, bro. I don't know, man.
He got a running back name, so he's not gonna pop off, bro.
Bro, get out of here, bro. His name's Chase. Just call him Chase. Don't call him Chase Edmonds. You just call him Chase, then he sounds
good. Government, bro.
But look, we'll see about Mostert, man. If he's consistent, if he does what he does and it just starts going touchdowns, Raheem Mostert is going to be a steal. We know he's very fast. He knows the system. So we'll see what happens. But I still have a little hope for Chase Edmonds. But so tell me about Cole Kmet. Now we got to talk about Cole Kmet. In redraft, you're dropping him until further notice, until the Bears learn how to freaking pass the football. So now let's talk about, Kyle Pitts. We talked a little bit about Kyle Pitts already. We don't got to go too in deep into that, but
I think he'll be fine with a QB change. I'm just going to stick it there. I'm going to plant my flag on that. I think he'll be fine with a QB change.
Yes, I would and I'm answering this question. I definitely would play Hurts over Kmet until the Bears learn how to pass the football. I pretty much playing any tight end over Kmet until the Bears learn how to pass the football. Okay, but no. And lastly, Zeke. Zeke is one of the guys that if you have Zeke on your team in redraft, you took him, 3rd, 4th round, maybe.
Which is still value. There's still hope.
There's still a little bit of hope because he's getting the more opportunity shares of the rushing. He's getting rushing opportunity shares, but goal line work, we saw Pollard after that long run, they gave him the touchdown. So we need touchdowns from him. Zeke's killing me too, first name. He's killing me too. But and the problem with Zeke is that do you bench him? You can't bench him because what are your other options? Like, unless you flex him, right now Zeke is a flex, right? He's giving you single digits.
He's an RB3, so he's a flex right now for me too. But like, man, this Dak injury really screwed him because in games without Dak, he's only averaging 11 fantasy points per game, and that's not good for a guy that's supposed to be seeing like the most volume.
And then also Tony Pollard is getting so much more involved, and he's taking all the passing work. So at least back in the day, Zeke would get the rushing and he would get passing work. Now he just only asked to run the ball. He doesn't look that great as a rusher. There's been moments where you see a little bit of the old Zeke, but you really just hope it's like Zeke is almost like Derrick Henry, but worse because he's not unique because he's not Derrick Henry. I know, but in terms of like. Because he was at least previously Zeke would be a little bit involved in the passing game a little bit, but now he's not getting any passing work and he's not getting the touchdowns. Yeah, low ceiling. It's just you can't sit him because I don't know what your other options you have, but hopefully Zeke finds the end zone in the near future. But all right, guys, we're going to move on to the last segment of the night, waivers. I know. But listen. There's so many things. I got to do my waivers after this. After this show, I got to finalize my waivers because the Zeke is pretty much, man. Anyways, Dave. Pretty much. But nah, waiver time. Look, I know everybody, when you hear waivers, if y'all like me, I'm in too many leagues, bro. I'm in way too many leagues. I'm stressed. I don't know who I should be targeting, how much I should be paying for them, but I'm here to help y'all. Okay, waivers. Make sure y'all liking this video, man. Make sure y'all liking the video. Make sure y'all subscribe. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Y'all been super active. Y'all been super lit. Thank you guys so much. But okay, waiver wire warriors. That's what we're calling this segment, waiver wire warriors. And look, I'll let you start with your two guys. We're gonna start with tight ends real quick. So start with your two guys. Who you think we should be targeting on waivers if you're struggling at the tight end position?
Listen, Kittle's been out for 2 weeks. You know, Kyle Pitts ain't doing nothing at all. Cole Kmet, zombie on the bench. He is just a roster clogger right now. And I feel as though you have to go pick up Hayden Hurts. He's actually making some type of relevant noise. If you're looking for points, like the dude has had double-digit points back-to-back weeks. He's ran more routes than Kyle Pitts. He's doing what we want Kyle Pitts to do, basically. We just want fantasy points. And that's exactly why I'm targeting a guy like Hayden Hurts. Only 26% rostership. He is still there. He's living and breathing back-to-back weeks. He's putting up double-digit points. You have to go pick him up if you're hurting at tight end. Again, this isn't saying you need to go start this guy this week. This isn't saying go start him in your lineup right now, but just have a guy ready to go when his name is called to put up points. Show up and show out. That's all that matters. What do you think on
that? I mean, I agree. I just think with these tight ends, man, like it's a crapshoot, right? You're hoping for target share. You're hoping they score a touchdown. So, I mean, I agree. And, look at the offense too, right? It's an offense that passes a lot. Yeah. So I agree with it. It's not super. I don't think any of these options are super exciting, super sexy. But you know what? Waivers aren't always going to be super sexy, super exciting. We've dealt with a lot of injuries, so sometimes your starting lineup's not going to always look that pretty. So these are guys that are going to help you. But I also think Logan Thomas, man. I like Logan Thomas. I see a lot of people in the chat talking about Logan Thomas. This man is widely available. I'd say in Yahoo League, he's only 14% owned. And I see Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson's a guy that's been getting, more opportunities, more snaps. So I really do like the Juwan Johnson pick as well. You're just looking for guys. Are they getting on the field? Are they getting at least what's their snap count? Are they always blocking? Are they running routes? These are what you should be looking for when you're looking for a streaming tight end. And last week, look, we saw Logan Thomas score a touchdown. I think one of the reasons I think he fell so far in drafts and because people didn't want him earlier is because he's old. He's old. He's on the Washington Commanders, and he was hurt. He was hurt earlier in the season, so I think a lot of guys forgot about him.
20-year breakout.
Yeah, pretty much. But Logan Thomas is a guy. So okay, so how would you rank these guys? How would you rank these guys? How much would you spend? I'll tell you right now, I'm not spending a lot of money. And shout out to my guy Coop, who's in the chat. He's the tight end guru. I actually asked him a similar question, but how would you rank these guys? Logan Thomas, Hayden Hurst, Evan Ingram.
For me, I'm going Hurts, Thomas, Evan Ingram. That might sound nasty, but right now I'm looking at who's getting opportunities, who's shown some life, who's shown improved. They could put fantasy points on the board because that's the only reason why you're jumping to the wire right now to go get a tight end, because those premier tight ends that you drafted, they're not putting up the best points that you want. The guys that you waited and thought they were going to be late round steals, they're not putting up points that you want. So I think right now I'm going to who's proven, to me, they can put up points, and it has to be Hayden Hurts for me at number one.
You want funny? So I'm gonna actually disagree with LQ here. I'm agreeing with my guy Coop. I'm agreeing with my guy Coop here. Look, he's a guy. I'm going Ingram. So Ingram. It's disgusting. I agree. So I'm sorry, y'all, because
Cooper's been hyping up Ingram all off season.
I know, but let's hit them people with the numbers, right? So week 1 he had 73% snap share. Week 2 he had 66% snap share. He ran 34 routes week 1, 24 routes week 2. He saw 8 targets last week. So 7 receptions, 8 targets. You're looking for your tight end to get receptions, right? He's involved in the offense. He's going to continue to be involved because the Jags is Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Zay Jones, and sometimes Marvin Jones, right? So I like Evan Ingram. I know he's let you down. I know he can't catch, but Evan Ingram I like a lot. And then for me, it's Logan Thomas. Then it's going to be Hurst. I know the commenter, he was wondering how much we're going to spend on these guys. Oh, no, I'm Higbee. I'm going Higbee because Higbee's been getting targets like crazy, and
This
he's
is
in a better
disgusting for
offense.
me to even say, but I agree with Higbee over Ingram.
It's absolutely Higbee over
But
Ingram.
Matthew Stafford is forcing targets to Higbee right now, and it's disgusting. Like,
but
really,
but in terms of how much we're spending on these guys, I'm not spending. So let's say you had $100 budget. I'm spending. Look, I'm spending like maybe 10 to 15% of my budget on these guys. Like, these are none of the guys I'm spending a lot of my fab on, because I like to save my fab on, again, running backs. You want that. I'm trying to save most of my fab on backup running backs. If the starter goes down, you want to save your fab on guys like that. For these tight ends, I don't think any of them are league winners. Irv had a lot of targets last night. I was surprised.
Let me hit on this, because I was hyping him up until May, June, maybe June. But I feel as though like Irv Smith is in the perfect situation, the perfect offense, the perfect guy calling the plays to get busy. Like a little preview of what we saw last night. But is it going to be consistent? I don't know. Is he going to stay healthy? I don't know.
And I think a lot of it had to do with last night, in my opinion. Slay was locking up Justin Jefferson. He needed to get the ball somewhere. So I feel like Irv, exactly. So Irv, I think, was the beneficiary of the fact that Kirk does not.
I will give Irv the slight edge on him having a lot of red zone presence, because the thing is about the tight ends, you want them to score. He has a ton of upside in the red zone. He's always been that guy for Kirk to target. He had more red zone targets, or the same as red zone targets as Justin Jefferson. Don't fact check me on that real quick, but he still was up there. Adam Thielen, Irv Smith, and then Justin Jefferson in those red zone targets. So I was liking what I seen. And I think, when it comes down to consistency, I don't know though.
Okay, so let's switch gears. Let's talk about running backs. And I mentioned backup running backs. So one of the things that happened over the weekend is James Conner, he got a little bit banged up, right? So we saw, Benjamin, we saw Darrell Williams get involved.
That split was disgusting.
It was disgusting split. So I'm curious about who you prefer. But the Conner injury, from what I can tell, the reports I've seen, it doesn't seem serious. I don't know if he's going to miss time. I don't know if he's going to miss time. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if he's going to re-injure it. But if we're going to be targeting one of these running backs, Darrell Williams, Benjamin, who do you prefer? Which running back do you prefer? And do you think and how much fab would you spend on these guys if it's you? You're going to say waiver wire is up tonight. So who are you targeting? Darrell Williams and Benjamin, and how much fab are you spending on them?
I would say, I don't know really, because like those guys, we seen the disgusting split between them, and like it's to the point where like it's a toss up. You know what I mean? Like honestly, for me personally, I fade situations like that when I'm spending fab, because like I can get burned easily picking the wrong guy. It's a 50-50 chance there. You know what I mean? So I'd rather not like even go out there and waste it on this. You know what I mean? I'd rather just wait and see how it plays out on a more consistent basis.
I don't mind throwing a couple of dollars at each guy. And again, this is very different than the Elijah Mitchell situation, where we know he's out for weeks, and that's why people spend big money on Jeff Wilson. Like, it is not the same situation. Conner looks banged up. Will he miss this week? I don't know. We need to check practice reports as the week goes on. But if he even misses a week, it doesn't seem like a full-time injury. I don't know if he's going to miss, but that's why I'm cautious to blow a lot of fab. Again, this has got like the 10 to 15% mark on these guys is what I'm shooting at, and kind of pick your poison. I like Darrell Williams. I agree with I agree with Patrick in terms of, I think that Darrell Williams is the guy. I think Darrell didn't really get any opportunities that much in week one. So I think Darrell looked good. I think we've seen Darrell
make the team.
Exactly. So exactly. So Darrell also, like, we've seen him with the Chiefs, right? So we've seen Darrell with the Chiefs, and we've seen him like come in and be able to be a starter and produce fantasy points. I know it's a different system and anything, but we haven't really seen do anything in the league, right? I know people always kind of talked him up as a sleeper, but I like Darrell between those guys. But I'm not spending a whole bunch of fab on either of them. Now, let's shift to wide receiver. So wide receiver, there are a bunch of guys, and I'm just gonna rattle through them right now because we're getting short on time. So I'm gonna rattle through these guys. You let me know who's your favorite, what you like about them. Greg, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. Greg Dortch with the Cardinals.
Dortch.
Yeah, he's 7% owned. He's been very involved in this offense. I think a lot of that might have to do with Rondale Moore being hurt. I don't know what it's going to look like with when Rondale Moore comes back, but Greg Dortch has been very involved in this offense.
Momentum, though. I think he definitely keeps momentum.
You think he does? I mean, I'm hoping. Look, I picked him up in a bunch of leagues. I have him in deeper leagues, so I really like Greg Dortch and his involvement in that offense. You also got guys like Noah Brown. Noah Brown, I saw somebody in the chat. They were talking about Noah Brown, and I think Mike McCarthy, I think he was saying something about, Noah Brown's benefiting from the fact that CeeDee Lamb is getting tougher coverage. So Noah Brown, if you're in a deeper league, he's somebody that, I'm not saying you have to force any of these guys in your lineup, but if you're in a deeper league or want to keep it on your bench to see what happens, I think Noah Brown is another guy that, again, you could get for super cheap. You're not spending a lot of money on any of these guys, probably less than 10%, 5 to 10% on all of them. You guys like Richie James, who's with the Giants, wide receiver for the Giants. No, I barely knew he was on the team before the season started, but he's somebody that's been in this offense. He's been in his offense. He's been involved. We don't call it Kenny Galladay, Kadarius Toney.
Trash.
I don't know what's going with him. Yeah, so the Giants offense seems to be wide open, but Richie James seems to be involved in it. I like him. He's at 1%. You get him for free. Nelson Aguilar, he just had a good game last week, put up over 100 yards. I really like Nelson Aguilar. And look, they play the Ravens. We saw it. Look, the Patriots offense isn't good, but there should be, after what the Patriots saw the Dolphins do to that secondary, I'm going to anticipate that the Patriots are going to throw the ball more than they usually do in this game. Jacoby Myers, but again, you can get Nelson Aguilar for cheap. Again, you don't have to force any of these guys in your lineup, but you can, if you're in a deeper league or multiple flex league, I think these are, or you got somebody that's hurt. These are guys that maybe you can try to put in your lineup. And if you're, if you're desperate,
Myers is still out there though for 40% rostership right now, which is wild to me right now. But he's still out there.
I love this call. And it's true. Look, in terms of backup quarterbacks, they like to target guys they practice with, in practice that they practice with. So Cooper Rush, I bet, has thrown to Noah Brown a lot in practice. So that's one of the reasons why they have that connection. So I think it's somebody that's going to be involved. Look, Michael Gallup he's in some leagues where he's been dropped. So because at least in Yahoo leagues, for example, like you can put him in IR spot. In some leagues, he's listed as out, so you can't keep him in your IR. Some people either have him staffed on your bench. Some people drop them. So if you could pick up a guy like Michael Gallup off waivers, you can stash him on your bench as well. I'm not saying he's going to always be there, but just check your league because there's some people that just drop good players because they're patient or they have a short bench. So make sure you do that. And Garrett Wilson, I think it depends on what platform you are on. But yeah, Garrett Wilson, he's also available in a bunch of leagues. Garrett Wilson, he's your number one guy. If you have Garrett Wilson, in most of my leagues that I'm in, Garrett Wilson is not available. But yeah, Garrett Wilson, absolutely the number one guy after what we saw with the last week. So definitely target him. But and we just got a question about Allen Robinson, Adam Thielen. Oh, definitely Allen Robinson.
You know where I'm going with that. Yeah,
definitely Allen Robinson. Pick. I like what B-Roy said. B-Roy Schultz is hurt too. You're right. Schultz might be banged up. Well, I don't know. He hasn't been ruled out yet, so we'll see. But you know what? He might be banged up, so I think Noah Brown's going to be a beneficiary of that. Oh, I like Garrett Wilson. Elijah Moore hasn't been as impressive as I was like, but give me Garrett Wilson.
Question though, because we know Zach Wilson's coming back. So
but I feel but it's still like, I mean, like with Zach Wilson, who knows? But Joe Flacco has looked good. But you know what? That's all we got for today, man. Look, I just want to tell the chat, y'all, thank you so much, y'all, for being so active, for the support for our first show. Look, y'all don't know us. A lot of y'all don't know us. Some of you guys do.
Don't know us.
But look, we're going to be here every Tuesday. But also, we're going to be here Thirsty Thursdays. So Thirsty Thursday halftime show. We're going to be here. So 10 minutes on Thursdays during halftime. You're going to see us again with our homie Sam Holt. So we're going to be here 10 minutes streaming live from here. So make sure y'all notifications are on. Again, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you guys like this video. So before you sign off, make sure y'all liking this video. If you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribing. We'll be here every Tuesday for the rest of the season, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as well as Thursdays, halftime show. Make sure y'all there. Again, thank you guys so much. We are going to be signing off, but look, before we go, make sure, Laquon, tell them where they can find you at, bro.
Hey, it's Mr. Real Deal Fantasy HQ. You see the face, you know the case. Fire content only. You can catch me here every Tuesdays and Thursday for the halftime show. You can just catch me all over Twitter across the board, Monday through Friday. I'm going to be dropping content. You're going to see my face. You're going to hear my voice. And that's where you can find me at Real Deal Fantasy.
And y'all can find me at T King Mode on Twitter. Twitter's my home base. You can find me pretty much on every social media platform at T King Mode. But Twitter's my home base. Thank you guys so much. Hope y'all yourselves a good night. Peace, y'all.